Of course, the big story with social media is TikTok, which is clearly the fastest growing. If I were to ask you guys to raise hands in terms of who's on TikTok, quite a bit, I would bet a lot of hands would go up. Just a few facts about TikTok. It's what's called a sticky app, meaning people spend a lot of time on it. People go and look to see what's new quite a lot. Uh, Interestingly, a lot of the people who like to watch videos also create their own. And this was an estimate from a few months ago, but this gives you a sense of the users. And this is the youngest user profile of the big social media platforms. By the way, the TikTok's parent company is called ByteDance, B-Y-T-E Dance. It's a Chinese company. Um, and there is discussion fairly frequently and concern that somehow China or the Chinese government is able to get its hands on data from TikTok users. Um, I don't know if that's been definitively proved. I don't think it has. But there are suspicions and there's concern about a Chinese company with such strong usage here in the US. So, anyway, of course, with Twitter, this is big news with Twitter as Elon Musk looks as if now he will be following through with his purchase and opening it back up for, excuse me, free speech. Um, so stay tuned. Influencers um, look like earned media, but it's frequently paid media. So it's a kind of disguised. It's a pug in wolf's clothing or something, or a wolf in pug's clothing. I don't know. You guys know who that is, by the way? It's Doug the Pug. My daughter and I share pugs, so I'm hyper pug conscious. Um, okay, we're not gonna bother to look at this. Just influencers are just a huge and growing phenomenon. Part of the reason for it is, as I think we said in class, that it's very easy to avoid most advertising. And with an influencer, the discussion and use of the product is kind of built into the story. Um, Email for customer retention. There's the cost. Um, I think that's like 1/1000th of a cent or 4/1000ths of a cent per email. Of course, the issue with email is clutter, and this is one reason why it's so important to segment our audience and do our best to address each segment with a special message. Open rate is higher. Yeah, the subject line is very much like the envelope of a direct mail piece. It's what gets you to open. Um, so those are the basic formats. Well, we covered most of it for interactive/digital marketing. Search, banner, including rich media, video, native advertising, um, social media, um, email, and we'll talk about text when we talk about mobile phones. So there are lots of websites. This chart shows the relative size of different big websites worldwide. And you'll see Google number one. Number two is YouTube. Number three is Facebook. Number four is Baidu, which is only in China. And in fact, China has a wall around the internet, and they have their own companies, being the big players. So there you go. This shows relative size of digital media companies based on numbers of users. And here we see an actual monthly uniques. That's how usage is tracked for online. So number of individual people who go to a website at least once. And here again, you see why Google's number one, then YouTube and Facebook, then Baidu, etc. So, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, this just makes the point that these sites are worldwide, except for China. You'll see, you don't see any Google offices in China, I don't think. I think you'll see most of them are in Vietnam and Japan and Thailand, places like that. But Google has offices all over the world. This shows absolute number of Facebook users. This is as of January 2020 in millions. Number one company for Facebook usage is India. Number two is the US. And again, staying on the international topic, this shows the number of online users. This is, again, kind of old. I apologize. It's sometimes hard to find this information, and you have to settle for old information. So this is absolute number of users. And we're just looking at a bunch of data here, kind of painting a picture, I hope. Now getting back to advertising revenue and getting back to the US. This by company, this shows blue, black, gray, and red bars are the years 2016, 17, 18, and 19. And on the left, you see revenue in billions. And when we say display ad revenue, remember Google is mostly getting search ad revenue. So this doesn't show their whole revenue. But if we were to show search revenue, Google would be bigger than Facebook. But the point here is, folks, that Google and Facebook control almost 60% of all the ad dollars going into the internet in the US. It's phenomenal. So, trends. Programmatic is the big story. Automated tools and technologies. It's online display advertising that's aggregated, booked, flighted, analyzed, and optimized via DSP software, interfaces, and algorithms bought on the basis of a very low CPM. Rogue ads it happened to me when I was working with Hive and Choice Hotels. We opened up the Wi-Fi landing page as for programmatic buying, meaning we would allow computers to place ads if their bid was adequate, and we didn't require very much in terms of a bid. It was just pennies per CPM. But one thing we saw is that one or two hotels managed to get their ads on our site, which we didn't like. So that's called rogue ads. And whoever's handling your programmatic needs to keep an eye out for that and demand that they be taken down, et cetera, et cetera. Programmatic, this shows the growth in display, programmatic spending. Grow, grow, grow. And this shows video, again, grow, 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 in terms of more and more is being placed by programmatic. Here are the factors This is again from the IAB, Interactive Advertising Bureau presentation. All these players are involved in a programmatic buy. Ad servers, one of the most important. This is technology. It's used by publishers, advertising agencies, and ad networks to manage and run online advertising campaigns. The DSP allows the buyers to access multiple ad exchanges through a single user interface. Supply side platform lets the media companies use a very simple platform to facilitate a programmatic buy. Ad blockers are another phenomenon. This is from the Onion, the world's finest news source. Murder your hideous conscience by disabling your ad blocker, says the Onion. Okay, this is a question running in Statista. This is from a few years ago. Within the past month, have you used an ad blocker on your mobile phone to prevent websites or apps from displaying ads when you visit them? And you can see that a lot of people do, particularly 25 to 34-year-old segment. I'm going to stop here and then pick it up on the other side.